Hey, welcome everybody. We're going to be talking about crafting a cover letter in this quick tutorial. We're going to jump right in. Let's start with formatting. A cover letter is a one-page document consisting of 3 to 4 paragraphs. It does have a header, which can be copied and pasted from your resume. But then you get to that first paragraph and you'll explain what your current role is, be it student, employee, or otherwise, what role you're applying for, how you learned of that opportunity, and then a summarization of why you're qualified for that role. And then you'll spend the next paragraph or two unpacking those most relevant qualifications and your motivations for applying. And then in the cover letter with a closing paragraph that thanks the employer for their considerations, reiterates the best way to get in touch with you, and then in some cases provides a time frame in which you will follow up with them. Now, if you do provide that kind of time frame, then stick to that time frame. If you've mentioned that you plan to follow up, then actually do follow up. You want to make sure and hold yourself to that if you're stating that in your cover letter. Now, as far as the craft of cover letter writing, it's really all about storytelling. And so, as with any and all stories, speaking the language of your audience is of the utmost importance. So, you want to find ways to incorporate the language found in the organization's stated mission, vision, and values, as well as the job description. And then if this is your story that you're telling, you want to come back to your resume as the outline. So if your resume represents the outline, you want to your result of that outline is a cover letter that is your short story, right? Now it is a short story. It's not going to be very long, but between those two documents, there should be consistency. So you want to stay true to the resume as you craft your cover letter, but if you successfully go off script, then go back to that resume and change it accordingly. So if you mention an experience, a qualification, a skill, an ability, something that you feel like does fit the story, that fits the opportunity, that does strengthen your candidacy, that is relevant, then go ahead and add that in the resume if it wasn't already. And that way, those two documents are again consistent, and you can see that you're highlighting the resume in the cover letter. And then, as far as this being your story, it is very much your story, but it's not going to be a personal statement type story, which is more of an essay. A cover letter is a more concise and formal document. This is something that you want to be careful not to be too excessive or verbose about. So you want to think about using that space of one page very intentionally. And so what can you speak to in that frame, in that format? Well, you want to speak to your qualifications as mentioned. So your resume should list any and all qualifications you have for the opportunity for which you're applying. But your cover letter, on the other hand, is just highlighting those that you think are most relevant. So don't retell your entire resume, but instead, again, just highlight those that are the 3, 4, maybe 5 at the most things of your experience, skill set, and abilities that you think, again, are the most relevant. And then something that you can also speak to is your motivations. This is where a resume and cover letter are probably different the most. This is where you will have the opportunity to expand on maybe what they are reading between the lines, right? There are some opportunities that you're going to apply for, most opportunities that you're going to apply for are going to be very obvious because you're X major and this is a Y opportunity and they go together. And so they see that. But there's also things that are less obvious and not so easily understood or found in your resume that you might want to speak to as well. These motivations that may be more about your personal story, your personal journey, why you're interested in this particular field, how that interest came about, these kind of details that are a little bit more personal that aren't necessarily found in the resume. You also can think about how you might answer the question of how does this opportunity help you achieve your career goals? So career management is not only important for you to consider, but it's something you have to be able to articulate because employers will find it helpful to know that you have an awareness of where you are, where you want to go, and how this opportunity helps you get there. And then also, you could answer the question of how does this organization align with your values? So most likely the type of work and the impact of the work being done are important to you based on your values. Share this. This helps a company know that you're connecting with them beyond just the paycheck, beyond just the job description or certain details of the job, but it's actually a greater connection than that. So share this with that organization through the cover letter. Now, as far as additional resources, you can check the description below. I'll drop some links in there. But we want to make sure and help you ever how we can to craft a cover letter that tells your story. So check out the resources in the links below. And that's it for this video. Take care.